Good afternoon, Mr. Miller. We are the Therapeutic Cats, building better buildings and building better homes. And this is our business proposal for modular homes. Now, starting out, we're starting out with cultural housing and accommodation, then transitioning over to factories and raw materials, then explaining the taxes, and then moving on to jobs, and then concluding, kind of wrapping up what we just explained.
All right, to go ahead and start cultural housing and accommodation. As you know, the indigenous peoples of Canada are divided into 50 different nations and then 600 smaller bands. So we want to culturally accommodate these people by customizing their homes, making them, smaller rooms for different cultural activities, to accommodate their cultural practices at no cost to the customer at all. How we can do this, so we can cover these entire costs because we are exempt from different taxes because of our manufacturing plants.
Yeah.
To tackle crowding, the indigenous population of Canada, specifically in Ontario, increased to 54% from 2006 to 2016. So our manufacturing plant facility facilitates the creation of jobs and opportunity to expand the area. Right.
Our company also wants to break.
What did you say?
We were just talking about cultural housing and how we can customize it, and then also be able to make it at no cost to the customer because of our exempt taxes.
Okay.
Our company also wants to provide factories into Canada as well in multiple locations to help out the brand areas, and we're going to spread them out so we'll be working in different locations. Also, we want to get all of our wood and stuff and lumber from Canada to lower the imports from the U.S., which will reduce the taxes and all those prices. And then also, with the lower taxes, we'll be allowed to use more custom homes and custom options for the houses. And then lastly, we'll provide jobs as well.
Mr. Miller, in order to lower our taxes, we need to work with the community and the corporate side on tax expenses on our income statement. On the corporate side, while we're moving our facilities and manufacturing facilities within the country, we can lower our taxes by locational benefits. For example, Ontario tax for manufacturing processing, Schedule 511. Then on the community side, we need their attention to take advantage of the income tax benefits, for example, childcare and housing expenses.
As you can see, our plan is to gain the trust of the indigenous communities in Canada. We see here that the First Nations, they represent 58% of the total indigenous communities, which is 5% of the total Canada population. Here on this next chart, we can see the total unemployment for Canada is 5.7%, and for the First Nations, like I said, is the biggest community, is 11.7%. So by providing jobs, we are gaining their trust, and we will empower them to have a better life.
So just to wrap things up, Mr. Miller, we went over cultural housing and how these modular homes can be accommodating to different cultural practices that the indigenous populations use. We went over how factories and raw materials would work. We went over how taxes would work, and we went over how this would create jobs, especially in those indigenous populations that are suffering from a large amount of unemployment. Going forward, I hope that we can come to an agreeable contract. And do you have any questions, Mr. Miller?
So you're going to come up to Canada and just take all our tax benefits. Is that how this works?
Not exactly.
Not exactly. What does not exactly mean? That sounds very American for, let me sell you something.
Sir, we will be located in the United States, but our manufacturing and materials will be within Canada.
So you're going to take all the tax breaks and bring them down to the U.S. then?
To lower our tax expenses.
To lower your taxes?
There is a
You're going to get government money to lower your taxes?
There is a government treaty between U.S. and Canada that will limit income tax. Instead of doubling taxes on a company from the United States, it will merge.
Yeah, I get that. But at the same time, I'm hearing you guys say that you're going to take a tax break from us which a tax break is always the government giving out money. And you got to take that money and bring it to the U.S. Is this how that works?
The tax break that we were planning to use that money for is for that accommodated housing. For those modular homes that are different customizable features, like different rooms and things like that. And we're giving them back to back to the community in order for them to use them within their homes.
Oh, okay. That helps me understand it. So let me make it clear. You bring your factories into Canada, and then because you're doing manufacturing, you've found that there are different tax breaks that are available to you because of the kind of population you're building homes for, and you're going to take those tax breaks to further lower the price of the homes for our indigenous population. Is that accurate? Okay, good. Let's see. Is there anybody, you didn't tell me about anybody I know that should make me trust you guys. Can you help me with that? Is there anybody that knows what you guys are doing? Because I'd never heard of you before I got the request to bring you guys up. I mean, I love your name. That's very cool. But is there anybody we can trust? Who
We
can?
actually spoke with your colleague Pam, and that's how.
Yeah, she mentioned that, but she said she didn't know you guys either, really. She said your president was a very, very cool man, and one of the most lovely people she'd ever met, which is why I was, come on, guys, which is why I was convinced to have you guys come in. Is there anybody else?
We had a conversation with Kevin O'Leary.
And who's Kevin O'Leary?
He's a Shark Tank.
He's what
He's from
now?
Canada.
He's what?
He's from Shark Tank and he's from Canada.
So?
He knows how to build homes because part of his business is actually related to real estate.
Well, I don't know who he is, but I guess I'll have to take your word for it.
We can send you the interview.
Good.